contestant will be William Muriuki. His speech title is Lawrence. Lawrence Muriuki William. Welcome to the stage.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, a story is told of a young man called Lawrence. And there are two moments in Lawrence's life that changed his life completely. The first was as a young 25-year-old boy. And he was seated in an old university hostel on an old rickety bed. And his girlfriend had just told him that she was pregnant. And as he sat there in shock, taking it all in, something within him awoken, and his eyes lit up. You see, Lawrence was from a poor family in rural Kenya. And now that his girlfriend was pregnant, he knew things had to change. And he began the journey of lifting his family up the rungs of the socioeconomic ladder. He became a churchman. He created meaningful friendships. And he built a good name for himself. The second moment that changed Lawrence's life was as a 54-year-old man, sitting on the porch office chair of his physician's clinic, and he was being told that he had stage 3 stomach cancer. And as he sat there in shock, taking it all in, his spirit sank and the lights in his eyes dimmed. Thank God he had good healthcare coverage and he sought the best treatment in this country. But after so much treatment and his policy running out, there was still no help. Harambes were done and he went to India for the world-class care. And after so many surgeries, there was still no help. His girlfriend, now the wife and the mother of his children, was even more desperate, resulting to alternative treatments, organic juices, organic herbs, anything she had ever had from a conversation with anyone or from any piece of literature. Still no help. From a man who used to have 10-year plans, he was reduced to having weekly plans of going to the bank to close his accounts, for seeking out long-lost friends to bid them goodbye. From being excited about the future, he would now lie on his deathbed watching soccer games, knowing that he would never really know who would win the league that year. Watching political campaigns, knowing that he would never really know who would win the election that year. The story of Lawrence is quite personal to me, and yet it's so common to all of us. It's personal to me because Lawrence Muriuki was my father. And yet it is so common to all of us because given a few tweaks here and there, this is the story of your uncle. This is the story of your aunt, of your colleague. This is the story of Ken Okoth, of Joyce Labuso, of Bob Kolimo. You see, healthcare is one of those issues that affects us all. They say 80% of people die in hospital. And that's just to mean that 8 out of 10 of us here, the last thing we will ever see in this beautiful world will be a hospital ceiling. Healthcare knows no race, knows no citizenship, does not care for your faith or creed, and certainly does not respect your status in society. Ironically, being sick is at the core of what makes us alive. And throughout humanity, our biggest problem used to be infections killing people. But we discovered antibiotics, and we've built a modern world around the principles of preventing and managing infectious diseases. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a new problem, and that is cancer. KANCO, in their latest research paper, indicated that cancer is the 3rd leading cause of death in this country. It kills more than HIV, TB, and malaria combined. Ladies and gentlemen, the rate of occurrence is now too high and the rate of survival is now too low. So what do we do about it? Billions and billions globally are being put into cancer research. New drugs are coming onto the market. New regimens and treatment protocols are being developed. More oncologists are being trained than ever before. But there's one thing we can all do in our own individual capacity. And this is an opinion I hold and that is shaped by my being a doctor. You see, the one clear differentiating factor that determines whether you will survive your fight against cancer is not the cancer you get. It's not the treatment choice you go for. It's the stage at which the cancer is discovered. The National Cancer Institute indicates that 80% of Kenyans present to the hospital for the first time when their cancer is already at an advanced stage. And this is what makes cancer screening so important. And that is why I decided to form Mwehoko, a medical activism group that intends to go back to the community, raise awareness on this issue, organize medical camps where people are screened and connected to the healthcare they deserve early. Because honestly, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you feel the same way too, come out with us and let us organize communities around the biggest healthcare crisis of our time. I do it for Lawrence. You can do it for the Lawrence in your life. But above all, you can be a Lawrence too, so do it for yourself. You know, cancer started this fight, but we shall win it. Madam Toastmaster, thank you very much. You're good. So, I go sit down.